Welcome to FNF Victory Road Draft League Season 2 Team Analysis. In this video, I am going to be analyzing the different teams that participated in the FNF Victory Road Draft League Season 2. And it's going to be an interview format, either on call or via DM, which I'll say the answers that people send me to the questions I asked. But today we have a call, and this time we are going to be analyzing the team Liek Corsola, which was headed by Zqiggs, who is on call with me now. So this is going to be a fun one, and I hope you enjoy. So Zqiggs, we'll start out by going over the logo and team name. First of all, why the team name you chose, and what was your thought process when you were making this beautiful piece of art?
Well, I like Corsola, and I wouldn't say there was much thought put into it, but that would be a lie. It really speaks to me deeply, although it was a work of it was work from the heart. I think it took maybe 6 minutes, but it was all sweat, blood, and tears, you know?
Yeah, I could see like the Michelangelo-esque golden ratio that you planned around. It's really apparent, and I think art critics are definitely gonna love this logo. They're gonna put it in the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art. So stay tuned for that when that happens. Really fun logo. So we're gonna go on to some more fun stuff with this team. This was actually like one of the teams I really liked a lot. Like, I tried using it and it was really fun. So we're gonna talk about the initial team, which is actually your team in general because you didn't do any exchanges. So what was the thought process you had when you were drafting this team? Like, were there any strategies you wanted to use? And what were you really looking for when you were drafting this team?
Well, I didn't know anything about Pokemon. I just saw the Pokemon that I liked, and then I was like, hey, Noel, what do you think about these Pokemon? And then you were either like, oh, it's pretty good, or you were like, nah, don't use that one as crap. I was like, okay. And then I like looked up the ones that you were like, oh, this is good, and then if they didn't have any moves that were like interesting or any abilities that I liked, I just kind of skirt around it and be like, I'll find something else out, except for Hariyama. Hariyama, I was like, okay, I'll take Hariyama. There's no other fighting types available, like, at all, that I felt I wanted, so I just like kind of guffed him. Gyarados kind of too, because I was like, I like Gyarados, he's going to die pretty immediately to any electric moves, but he was the only one that had a flying move at all in any sort of way on my team, so I kind of just used him for that a bunch.
Well,
but, like,
Supersonic. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, everyone else I liked a lot.
Yeah, it's a really fun team because you had a lot of versatility, I think. Like, you had so many Pokemon that had so many different functions. And that's a really good quality to have when you're in a draft league. What was your thought process like? Because Season 1, nobody drafted Gothitelle, and Season 2, people were like, oh, no, I don't think anybody's going to draft Gothitelle, and then you drafted it. So why did you pick Gothitelle? That's one of the like standout Pokemon on your draft.
Oh, because, trapping people is kind of super epic. Gothitelle like does everything. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Gothitelle, has so many sick moves.
Yeah, I really like Gothitelle, and I think it was really fun to see it being used in this season too. It's just a really fun Pokemon with like a lot that you could do with it. So I definitely agree there. overall, it seemed like you had a lot of Pokemon that you could use in multiple ways, like Corsola, for example, where sometimes you could set up Stealth Rock or use Magic Coat, and then other times you could just Head Smash. Things like that. So we're going to take a look at some of the strategies and battles. But first we're going to move on to the battle record.
Dude, outside of those two though, Whimsicott and Gliscor, like, super awesome Pokemon I like fell in love with. They're so good.
Yeah, Whimsicott, Gliscor, I think you use Gliscor more in the beginning than at the end. Whimsicott you seem to use a lot in the season. And yeah, really fun Pokemon, especially with Prankster.
Dude, oh, I love it.
Yeah, Whimsicott's definitely like one of those standout Pokemon on your team as well. And we'll see too, there were some moments that you used Prankster to really good effect, and I'm excited to talk about those. Any final thoughts on the initial draft before we go on to the battle record?
Yeah, I should have used Licky less and Drudagamer more, for sure. Like, I realized, like, at the end, like, oh, Drudagon's, like, super sick. I should use him a lot. Because most of the time when I was playing, I was just like, I am gonna find a way to get an opening, and then I'll try to use that opening. But, like, most of the time I felt like it wasn't working out super how I wanted to, because I'm not very good at Pokemon. But I feel like Drudagon could have just, like, really been there and done things when all my other Pokemon were just kind of, like, being really crappy and passive half the time. You know what I mean?
Drudagon, like, I think I realized Drudagon's full potential when I used it in Season 1, like, in playoffs. Like, the whole season, I was just kind of like, So I guess it's one of those Pokemon that, at first, is kind of slept on, but then, like, its full potential, you realize near the end, and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, I feel like they could have replaced the way that I was using Gliscor a lot with Drudagon, and I think it would have done a lot better. But, like, in the matchups where I was using Gliscor to be, like, a stall breaker, I shouldn't have used it, but in every other one where I was just like, yeah, Gliscor will be here and he'll just be taking hits for a little bit, I could have definitely, I feel, just used Drudagon and just walled everything out and, like, done contact damage with, like, Rocky Helmet or something, you know? I think I could have, like, used that a lot more. Because when I wasn't doing that, I was either using Gliscor or Muk. And, like, Muk is, like, super good at it. And I was really happy with choosing Muk, honestly. Like, he's so sick.
Yeah, but Muk is really good, too. And also, with the Pokemon, we could go into it a little bit more at the end, where we have, like, the slide with the differentials and usage rate and stuff.
Right.
So we'll save some of that for the end and go on to the battle record now. But keep those thoughts handy, because I'll be asking you about some of the Pokemon, like which ones you liked and using, and which ones like you felt like you slept on, or etc. etc. So we're gonna go on to the battle record now, and the overall total rather, was 3-7, rank 15, and this was your first time in the rodeo of FNF Victory Road Draft League, and relatively new to Pokemon. So I think the fact that you were able to not only, like, start off pretty strong and but also get a few wins was really good. How did you feel like you did overall?
I feel like I could have. I feel like I threw away like 3 matches that I totally could have won. Like, if I had just done one thing different, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I did okay. I didn't know a lot about Pokemon at all when I started, and so I was just like taking like super long turns and like I took a bunch of notes in the beginning, you know, and I'd like refer to them while I was fighting, and I would try to take the other person's team and like put it against mine in my head, and that took like a really long time to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to learn all that way. I didn't really enjoy doing that. It took forever, but I feel like it worked for the first like few battles, and then I kind of hit like, and then I hit like noob scrub, and I was like, oh, oops. That dude kind of put toxic on everything, and I did not think he would do that, you know?
Yeah, different people definitely with their different battle styles can really throw you for a loop, I guess, if it's not a battle style you're used to playing against. But I think that you had a healthy amount of different playstyles, like opponents, ranging from like hyper offense to Saul. So I think this was definitely a good like entry into Pokemon battling and learning more about the meta and how to play too.
It definitely felt good about like, I felt good about a lot of them when I was done fighting, even though like if I lost, I feel like I learned a lot from some of the matches, you know. But for most of them, honestly, there was like only one where I was like, oh, oops. That was just on my part though. I just wasn't ready.
Well, that's good to hear, because like that's kind of what I wanted to achieve with this, like people learning and like just the community growing and stuff. So I think that's also like always a good takeaway. So yeah, I'm really glad to hear that. And I also wanted to ask, were there any battles that you were really looking forward to doing? Like any opponents or teams that you really were looking forward to facing?
Oh yeah, I really wanted to play against Edgar, and I really wanted to play against you, and I wanted to play against I did want to play against Finger Twitch too, a lot, and Lion Hugs too, which I played against those two, and I was like, oh yeah, I lost against all of them, but I felt pretty good about fighting them, you know? There was a few people that I was like, oh, I really don't want to fight this, but those ones I like won against, so I felt weird about that. Like, Emberhoof and Benjamator, when I fought against them, I was like, I am going to lose big time, and I didn't. I feel like I played good on those ones, but yeah.
It's funny how it works that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this one would be like a piece of cake, and then I got like, you know, destroyed. Like the last one I did, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good. And then he just never let me set up Trick Room, and I lost. I was like, oh, oops.
Yeah, but you still managed to get something really cool, which we'll go over when we get to that match. But So, were there any battles that? Well, you already kind of said, I think Ember and Benji, you were kind of dreading facing. That was going to be the question I was going to ask. So, and then which one would you say was your most enjoyable battle, and which was your most challenging?
Definitely my most enjoyable was against Lion Hugs. Took like forever, but it was really fun. We both played that one really safe, honestly. Like, we could have just destroyed each other a lot of the time in that match, but we just didn't. And I thought that was really funny. The one that I didn't like the most playing was definitely against Noob Scrub, I think. Because there was, I guess we'll go over that later, but like, there was just like a moment where I was like, oh, okay, I'll just do this, and then I threw the whole game away, you know? I was like, oh, that sucks.
I remember I practiced with Noob Scrub that week, and well, we'll get into it when we get. I keep like running ahead of myself, but okay. Well, so this was your overall battle record, but we'll actually go into the individual matchups now, and we'll start with your match versus Kingfuse, the Visionary Tricksters, and this was a win for you. And what was your game plan going into this battle?
My first match in competitive Pokemon, I didn't really have a game plan. I was just like, I'll pick my Pokemon that hit him, and I'll use them. And then I was also like, I'll also put up like a screen with Corsola somewhere in the match, and that like, I think that made me win the match also. Oh, and I wanted to stall with Gliscor, but not like stall. I just didn't really want. Who was it? He like crit me 19 times with Merciless.
Oh yeah.
Toxapex. Didn't want Toxapex to be anywhere near the rest of my team, so I just used Gliscor. That was like pretty much the whole thing that I had in that match.
That was legendary. How, like, there was like, I don't know how many crits in a row, like 6 or 7 crits in a row, before we realized, like, oh, it's not a Regenerator Toxapex, it's a Merciless Toxapex.
Honestly, like, that's so smart. That's like the smartest thing he did. I was like, oh my god. It was completely out of my mind. Like,
yeah.
I never would have thought he would have done that.
It's like unfathomable. Like, you see Toxapex, you don't even think about Merciless.
Kingfuse is just Gigantobrain. We're not on his level yet.
Yeah, that was Galaxy Brain. But yeah, that was a pretty fun one. That moment was just so funny. But overall, Gliscor did do really well for you, because even with all those crits, you managed to get a Swords Dance up and finish off the team.
I had Gliscor at like max health, max defense, and I feel like if I didn't, he would just like have died immediately and I would have lost.
Yeah, your investment was definitely smart to be able to take those skulls. Cloyster was a little troublesome for you in the beginning, but then Rotom Heat was able to really do well and Volt switching out of there to Scizor, so...
Yeah. I switched to Scizor. No, I think I switched to Muck or something, and then I got like Icicle Speared and died in like one turn.
Yeah, that's a Cloyster moment.
Cloyster kinda epic. I just wanted to get him, you know? Like, I wanted to do anything, but I felt like I was getting wrecked. Like, I didn't even think about Cloyster when I was building for it, because I was new to the game, and I'm like, Cloyster's like, whatever, he's just like a silly little Pokemon. And then he comes in and just like destroys 2 of my Pokemon. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, Cloyster, pretty intense. But overall, this was a really good battle, fun battle, good start to the lead, and I definitely like this one, especially for the comedy of the Merciless. But we'll move on to the next one now, which was versus Ember's team, Rio Grande Rapidash, and in this one, I think that Muck was really a star player for you.
Oh yeah, dude. I got Muck, like, just besides being like a wall that he could not do anything about, got like the most lucky burn of all time.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, let's go. It was so good.
That was like, I don't want to say that's a game-defining burn, but that was such an important burn.
Oh my god, he would have taken out my Scizor, like, in like one hit. And like, I don't know what I could have done against him if I didn't get the burn, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like my Pokemon would have just crumbled.
That was pretty insane. Muck was like, I'm gonna give you everything.
You know, I actually didn't understand how sleep worked when I was playing that. And I was like, oh, I guess he's never gonna wake up. I'll just use him as a wall forever. He'll just be like a wall that I'll put out and then he'll die. So like, that's what I'm gonna do. I did that like the whole match because I didn't understand how sleep worked at all.
Also, Corsola was good for you in this match too.
Well, naturally, Corsola, kind of top tier, kind of an epic Pokemon.
I forgot who Corsola took out, but it took out 2 Pokemon, and I think he had trouble breaking through it.
Kind of a Corsola moment. I can't remember. I think I might have Stealth Rocked or something with Corsola.
I think Stealth Rock and Scald, but I can't remember either. But this was a good match too. I think that overall, really fun one. And even though it was a matchup that you said you were kind of dreading, I think you played it really well.
Thank you.
So we move on to Patch 3.0 Ivysaurs, which is Noob Scrub's team. And I think you had had Noob Scrub not brought Quagsire, I think you definitely would have come a lot closer and maybe even won. But I think Quagsire was like the bane of your existence in this match.
Yeah, I do honestly feel like I would have won if I had just not switched off a Gliscor. I just have this problem where I'm like, I don't want to play like this, and then I just switch off, even though like I would maybe get farther, if not win, if I just didn't do that. But I was just like, I don't want to do this, and then I switched off, and then I was like, oh, this was a mistake. Oops.
Quagsire is unaware, like, because you had a lot of sweeping Pokemon, so unaware was really like hard for you to break through, especially on the physical side.
Oh yeah, even outside of unaware, I didn't realize how like incredibly bulky he is.
Yeah.
I like hit him. I knew that my buffs on Gothitelle wouldn't do anything because he got unaware, but I didn't think it would do like whatever it did, like 15 or 22% or whatever. I was like, this will do a lot more because it's Gothitelle and Gothitelle hits like a truck, but it didn't happen, and I was like, wow.
I think it's also because you used Psyshock. If you had used Psychic, it probably would have done around half maybe. But since Psyshock calculates off of defense, Quagsire takes those a lot more comfortably.
I think I brought Psyshock because of Blissey. Or
yeah.
No, not Blissey, Chansey, right?
Blissey.
Blissey.
Yeah, that makes sense, because Blissey doesn't like Psyshock at all. But yeah, I think
I really wanted that Celesteela gone. Also, I did not want to deal with that.
Yeah, I noticed you were like, I'm gonna Calm Mind up and just destroy this thing. But so yeah, I think that was a cool moment, like when you did that with Gothitelle, and I think this was also like a learning moment about Quagsire and how like really physically defensive it is and how capable it is.
It kind of be a crazy Pokemon.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, you could have a +4 Garchomp ready to go ahead and sweep, and then Quagsire comes in and it's just like, nope.
Kind of sick though.
Yeah. Axolotl, fishy blob comes in and just denies your physical sweep.
So honestly, like, perfect for Noob Scrub. Like, perfect for his team.
Yeah. He was really smart to get Quagsire.
His whole team is like, I'll just like be bulky and you'll keep wear down like you'll just die. But then like Quagsire's also like a defensive core with Blissey, but then also can just be like, if I do mess up, this is my second chance, and it's like crazy.
Really, really good Pokemon for him. I think Whimsicott.
Oh.
Huh?
He gets Scald too. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, those vital burns. I was expecting you to trick with Whimsicott, or Switcheroo rather.
I don't remember if I had... Oh, I did have Trick because he blocked it with like Blissey, I think, with the Protect.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was dreading Trick. He was like, oh my gosh, I can't be tricked.
I was like... I was pretty resigned to the fact that I was going to lose, but then I was like, yeah, I'll Trick his Blissey. And then he won't be able to switch, you know? And I can like take him out like that. I'll like wear him down with Thesor. Like I'll make him like get PP styled for a little while. And then he like I think he started using Toxic when he was just like, alright, well I'm running out of PP, so I'll just like use Toxic. And I was like, I was like getting a little frustrated at that moment.
I think he literally gave Blissey Z Crystal privilege so that it couldn't be tricked, because Z Crystals can't be tricked.
That's like not even something I was thinking of. That's so smart.
Honestly, Galaxy Brain.
Oh my god. Imagine if I tried to trick him and it failed and then he just poisoned me.
I think that's what he wanted to do. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a good battle though. So the next battle is versus Startoad's team, Detroit Dinos, and this was kind of Mamoswine scary moment.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh yeah. So Gyarados, I think, was your main counter to Mamoswine. And I think once it went down, Mamoswine had an easier time, like, sweeping.
Yeah. Mamoswine kind of do be taking out all my Pokemon pretty quick.
I think because you didn't have Rotom Heat, maybe Rotom Heat would have been able to do more. I don't know. But yeah, Mamoswine is extremely scary. That stab combo is just like so good.
Yeah, I think I brought both Licky Licky and Druddigon, because I was like, I'll just make Druddigon like a wall, and then I just got kind of ran over for like a little bit with Mamoswine, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that, you know?
Yeah, Memo's scary. There's not a lot that wants to switch into Earthquake and Icicle Crash. Like, it's pretty wild. So this one was kind of tough.
My whole team does get taken out by Ice types, I think.
What?
I think my whole team really did get taken out by Ice types that time.
Corsola, no, but then Earthquake, so...
Yeah. And that was super epic.
Mamoswine moment. But that, now you know the power of Mamoswine. Every battle's a learning experience, and next time you face Mamoswine, you'll definitely be more prepared.
Oh yeah. I didn't have that much time to do any preparation that time either. Like, I remember specifically just being like, I will throw this team together right now. And then there was something about me only having like 3 moves on my Licky Licky, I think, or something like that. I remember he messaged me afterwards like, hey, anytime you want to play again, we can. You know, get your like team ready this time. And then I was like, okay. I don't think we ever did anything, but it was really nice of him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. So next is Florida Flesh Ribbons, the infamous match. I believe I was commentating this one with Morgana.
Yes, Morgana is a staple of all stall matches.
Yeah. He's gonna listen to this and be like, guys.
He's a stall overseer and a stall partitioner.
He's the judge, jury, and executioner of stall. We love you, Morgana.
Yeah, we love you. I remember, like, I did not know that Morgana was, like, commentating with the match. I was just like, King Fuse will love this.
I mean, he probably still loved it because we were both suffering.
It's like Kaminko for like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Like super...
That's how you make someone go crazy. Like, that's like one of the torture methods that they use to get information out of people.
It could have been worse. Like, I'm pretty sure Lion Hugs was like, hey dude, we could do silly side hugs.
Oh yeah!
I was like, I don't... That's going a little too far, I think.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
Kaminko was that line.
Yeah. Oh my god. So...
Imagine, honestly, like, seriously though, like, that match was kind of crazy. We were both definitely playing safe, like I said it earlier, and like we could have just like won a lot, but also I was like a big scaredy cat for half the match.
Yeah, both of you were pretty much just like wishing a lot with Sylveon and Licky Licky.
I was very scared of a lot of his team.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary team. And I think also Mega Sableye was able to recover. I don't remember.
Oh my god. Okay. I remember specifically being like, I will bring Hillbell on Licky Licky, and that's how I'll win. And I just didn't. Like, I can't remember if I like part 2 had only 3 moves, because that's a running thing with me and Licky Licky apparently. Or I didn't do something. I think I was like, I'm gonna try out Dragon Tail and some other things, and then I was like, oh, the name's not right. I gotta have that a running thing. And I was like, I'm not gonna look back at the other name and just rename it. I'm gonna copy the Pokemon and I'm gonna put it there, and then it's gonna have the exact same name as it did whenever I used it. And then I didn't have a Heal Bell. I had Dragon Tail, kinda epic, especially for Licky Licky, I think, but I really wanted Heal Bell because my entire team was burned, and I wanted that more than anything.
Yeah, because I think Mega Sableye was Will-O-Wisping, Scraby Yoda.
Scraby Yoda.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, like, the score looks like it was, like, a sweep, but it was really anything but, except, like, the last 2 seconds.
Dude, the last 2 seconds when my defenses died, and then he was like, okay, I'll take all your Pokemon out now.
Yeah, Kingdra just went...
I wanted Mega Sableye in the beginning of the draft, and then when he took it, I was like, no.
Scraby Yoda stolen.
Yeah.
I don't think next season that Lionhugs is gonna go for Mega Sableye though. I don't know, but maybe.
And Sable Epic, I think.
You can get your own Scraby Yoda next time. I just love that name so much, Scraby Yoda.
Yoda is so sick. The way that he used him was really good too. I was like, wow. the whole match, I was like, I could have been doing this.
So this match will go on. This will live in infamy.
Is it still the longest match?
I don't think so. Like, turn-wise, it's not. Video length-wise, maybe? I'm not sure.
Had longer turns with Noob Scrub. I think my Noob Scrub match went to like 98 or 100 or something, just because we stalled for like the whole game.
I think the longest was Noob Scrub versus Edgar in playoffs, where there was like actual PP stall, like down to struggle almost.
That match was actually like so good.
Yeah, that was a really good match. So, but yeah, this was a fun one. Even though commentating was kind of suffering. So the next one was versus Sir Roland's team, Waterfront Woods, and this one was Torterra going apeshit, but
dude, I underestimated how bulky he was. Like, oh my god, I was like, it's over. When I think I did Hidden Power Ice or something like that, and I was like, got him, like so easy, GG's. And then he lived, and I was like, oh, it's over.
I think Rotom Heat also missed an overheat versus it, and that was a pretty crucial moment. Like, because after that, like nothing could take it down.
Pretty epic.
But yeah, Torterra definitely breaking out of its shell in this one.
You think Rotom would have taken it down? Rotom's like a nuke, but Torterra's apparently like super, 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 super bulky.
Yeah, because its HP was already like down, so an overheat definitely would have taken it out. But I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I forgot. There's also another moment. I don't actually know. That was versus Fingered Witch. Never mind, which we'll get to. But
oh my god, that was a match.
Gardevoir also did the force you to attack with taunt and then Destiny Bond thing. And I think Gothitelle trapped Lapras.
Yeah. Kind of got worn down when I did that, and I did not think that I was gonna get worn down so far when that happened.
Yeah, I think it's because Lapras had an Assault Vest, so it wasn't taking that much damage from the Thunderbolt.
Yeah, kind of epic.
But yeah, this was Torterra's crazy mode. And the next one is versus Fingered Witch, Night Wishy-Washy. And your match with them was pretty close. It was almost down to the wire, really.
Yeah. I threw it away at the last second. I did the calculations afterwards because I thought he was gonna kill me with the Darkest Lariat. Like, I thought he was gonna one-hit my Rotom Heat, and then he didn't. And I was Choice Scarfed, like, the entire game, and...
Oh, is that why you kept Pain Splitting?
Yeah! I was like, he's just gonna take me out, so I'll just use whatever. Pain Split. And then he didn't. Oh... I would have outsped him. I outsped both of his Pokemon, because I outsped Mew, and Mew only had, like, 2%. And, Volt Switch would have killed him if I hit him twice with it. And, like, I just didn't. And I totally could have won, and I just threw it away. I felt so bad about it.
Damn. This was still, even with that, this was still such a back and forth. Like, there was so many... Like, Mega Altaria was ripped and ready to go, and then Whimsicott took it down, and that was like, oh my gosh.
I know. I was so scared. Mega Altaria is so scary.
Especially after a Dragon Dance.
Oh my god, I know. And there was another part where I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. His Incineroar had an Earthquake, and I was like, why does this Pokemon have Earthquake? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, and Corsola switched in.
I just died immediately. I was like, okay, sick.
Yeah, but overall it was a pretty nice match. Like, it was a lot of back and forth, so I think it was really exciting. And Go Lurk got to get a kill. Go Luwuk. Go Luwuk.
Go Luwuk. His team is like really cool.
Yeah, both of your teams are really awesome. They're like really versatile and fun to use. I think like both of you had my favorite teams probably like to use if I had to use one. So
I practiced with his team a few times with Edgar, and like, dang, his team is scary, like really cool. Mega Altaria is so sick.
Yeah, I really like Mega Altaria. It's
Yancy too, right? I think.
Huh?
He has Yancy too, I think.
Oh yeah, DNC's on the team.
Good. Oh.
Yeah, really fun team.
DNC with Trick Room though?
Yeah, that's also really fun, especially with Incineroar.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
Trick Room in general.
Dude, okay. I was switching against Edgar, like with just Trick Room, and it was just like took his whole team out. And like a lot of the other teams that were like just really fast, like I felt like DNC just kind of could switch into like a lot of things to just take Trick Room and just like destroy all the other teams. Like, it's such a cool and scary team. I love it.
Yeah, it's...
And if that doesn't work, you have Altaria, and Altaria just kills everything. It's so cool.
Yeah, after one Dragon Dance, it's like GG. But yeah, that was a fun battle. And the next one was versus Benji's team. And this one was... I thought you won this one.
I thought I did too.
Oh, I have the... Oops. I have the team switched.
Oh yeah.
I'm dumb. It's okay. So, yeah, the teams are switched to the very large amount of viewers watching this, I'm sure. The team starting with Electrode is Benji's, and with Mega Scizor is Zqiggs. So, oopsies. But yeah, there's a really hype moment where you use Sunny Day on Whimsicott. And because of that, Electrode's Thunder Mist, and that was pretty, like... I don't know if that was game defining, but I think it was.
Oh, it didn't matter at all. He would have been taken out by his Life Orb, but it was pretty epic. I really liked it. That's like the reason I brought Prankster Sunny Day on Whimsicott, was because I was like, he's gonna try to Electrode like 100% Thunder me, and it's gonna miss. And then it happened, and I was like, oh yeah, so sick. I didn't realize how like incredibly crazy Electrode was until I started like looking into it for the team like 2 days before the match, and I was like, oh, I have to do something about that.
Yeah, Electrode is awesome. People sleep on it, but it is so cool. I love Electrode.
His team, like before his team, like before when he first started the league, I was like, oh, his team, I could definitely take it out. And then he got Mega Swampert, and I was like, okay, oops, this is not good.
Gyarados is a really good answer to Mega Swampert, though, because it could come in on an Earthquake or a Waterfall, intimidate it, and scare it out.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, overall, there's a lot of back and forths in this one, too, and it was down to the wire. Like, the last Pokemon were, like, in the red, I think in single digits, I'm not sure, but really intense.
I felt really good about that match. That's like, I mean, as I said, that's like one of the ones that I was really afraid of. And I felt really good about how I played in that, even though I made a few mistakes.
Yeah, I think you did really well. and you also use Rotom Heat really well to your advantage, even though it was Fire type versus a Rain team. Like, you used it pretty well.
Yeah, I was like, I'm bringing Rotom Heat, and Edgar was like, why? Don't do that. And I was like, no, it'll be cool. Check it out.
And it ended up winning the match.
Yeah, it ended up working pretty well.
Yeah, this one was really enjoyable. I remember it was so hype when I was recording it. I think that was one of the few matches where, like, I was visibly like, oh my gosh! So the next one is versus Ferocious Victini, which is Quest Team. This was another really close one.
And I just kept trying to set up with my gamer. And then just like getting pushed out, and I was like, oops. If I just like hit him more and didn't try to set up as much, like I definitely would have won. But I just kind of let it happen, and then I died with Caesar.
Roar was really unexpected on Empoleon. Like, that's not a common move on Empoleon, so I think that was pretty smart on him.
I was practicing with Edgar, and I told him, like, he's gonna bring Roar, and he was like, no, definitely not. He's not gonna bring Roar. And I was like, he's gonna bring Roar, and he's gonna throw my Caesar away, and then he's gonna win, because Caesar's, like, super epic against his team. And he was like, well, whatever, if that's what you think's gonna happen. And then it happened, I was like, I knew it.
That's so funny.
Someone that I didn't think he was gonna bring, though. I can't remember who it was.
That's honestly really funny, because I've had moments like that with Edgar, too. Where, like, I forgot what it was, but Edgar was like, oh, I feel like this is coming, and I was like, nah, and then it came, and I was like, oh, you were right.
Dude, I like, every time we practice, he's like, okay, we'll bring someone's team, like bring Noob's team, and then I bring Noob's team, and he's like, that's what you think's gonna happen, and like literally everything's the same except for he brings like a Quagsire or something, and I'm like, yeah, what do you think about that? Edgar got him, and he's like, no. Oh, love it. He brought, I can't remember who he brought that I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that, but it was someone.
Heliolisk?
Yeah, I think so, actually. Heliolisk kind of like super cool, honestly.
Heliolisk, I think it was like Specs, because at the end, if it wasn't Specs, I think Muck would have survived and killed it. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're right. There was like, I should have just knocked off. Instead of knocking off, I just pursued it and like didn't win. I think if I knocked off, I like would have won. Or something like that. Something like that happened at the end.
It was super close. I think,
No, I think it might have been a Sludge Bomb instead of a Pursuit.
Or Poison Jab or something.
Yeah. Oh, I did bring Poison Jab, because Edgar was like, Poison Jab's better than Sludge Bomb, because it doesn't miss that much. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll bring that. Definitely not what decided it, but like, I remember that now.
But this was definitely a close one, and there's a lot of really intense moments in this one. Like, I remember, like, I think this was another match where Corsola switched in, and it was unfortunate for Corsola because it just died immediately when it switched in.
Yeah, Corsola kind of do be dying a lot. I was so sad that I couldn't make Corsola like even at the end of the league.
I think you got kind of close though.
Yeah, definitely more than I expected I was gonna do with him, but I was still like, no Corsola sweep.
Well, speaking of Corsola trying to sweep this last battle versus Blitz City Haxorus, in this one I think Rotom Wash gave you a lot of trouble.
Yeah, we had a little Spider-Man moment in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
He rode on the field.
I think he named his Rotom Wash Optimal.
Rotom Wash is like really good, and I didn't even like realize it until that match.
There's like almost no such thing as a bad Rotom Wash matchup.
It's like really cool, actually. I really like Rotom Heat, but Rotom Wash is like, dang.
I was reviewing Colin's matches because we're gonna do the team analysis video soon, and like every battle, my mental note was like, Rotom Wash was amazing in this battle. Rotom Wash was amazing in this battle. This battle won because of Rotom Wash. It's just one of those Pokemon.
Yeah.
If you had Mold Break or Druddigon, you might have been able to kill it with the Earthquake.
I was thinking about like bringing it too. Mold Breaker, Druddigon, Earthquake on Rotom Wash to get rid of a Levitate. Like, it was such a juicy idea in my mind, but then at the same time I was like, it's going against protocol. I need to bring like Rough Skin, you know?
Rough Skin definitely helped you. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to mention in the match versus Quest. You did a ton of damage to Tapu Bulu and I think Infernape with that Rough Skin Rocky Helmet combo.
Oh yeah, Infernape? That's a crazy Pokemon. That's like an insane Pokemon, dude. I never like realized it, and then I was like, oh, it has like 9 million speed and like 1 million attack, and it can do Flare Blitz. It's so cool.
It's really versatile too, so
that's like when I realized like, oh, Druddigon's like a sick Pokemon that I should be using.
Yeah, it could be offensive or defensive, which is really nice.
And you're not gonna know until you hit it and you take a quarter of your life away because you hit a Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So in this one you managed to get a super sick kill on Haxorus.
Oh yeah. Dude, that was like a 47% chance to hit or something because there was no gravity.
Yeah.
And it went second, and it survived a hit. That doesn't happen with Corsola. That's crazy.
It survived and then it killed.
Yeah. But it didn't survive the hit smash. I wanted to give it, at one point in the league, I wanted to give it Z head smash because I think Continental Crash is really funny on a Corsola. But then I was like, I can't do that. I have to have my flying move. It's not gonna work if I don't have my flying move.
So that was the final match, and now we look into the Pokemon themselves. And so I was gonna ask. Actually, interestingly enough, you didn't use Hariyama at all.
Yeah.
And you used Corsola every time, and then every other Pokemon was used at least 3 times, except Golurk 2 times. So,
yeah.
What was your favorite Pokemon to use, and what was your least favorite?
You know, it's Corsola, for sure. Everyone that I used 3 times, I pretty much loved. Gyarados kinda less than the others, but all of them I really enjoyed using. Licky kinda stink. Licky, Hariyama, and... Well, Licky and Hariyama are the ones that I was like, I'll use you, but you kinda like... I don't want to use you very much. The other ones, I was like... I was okay with using if I wasn't in love with them. Like, Corsola, Gothitelle, Rotom Heat, and Whimsicott. You know, those are kind of like the ones that I loved using the most. Makalola and Gliscor were like definitely really fun to use, and they just kind of destroyed everything. If they weren't getting destroyed, they were destroying things, which was awesome. And I really loved using those, like, those 6 Pokemon or 7. I mean, those 7 Pokemon are like sick. And then, the other ones I was like, okay, you'll be in the background for a little bit until the end when I was like, oh, Druddigon is like sick.
Were there any Pokemon that you, I guess Druddigon, since you just said, but you kind of slept on and then realized, oh, this is actually awesome?
Honestly, for the longest time in the league, I have a problem. I discovered at the start of Orberg, I discovered I had this problem. All of the Pokemon that I choose, and I'm like, these are Pokemon that are gonna fill these roles, and they're the pillars of my team, I just don't believe in for some reason. I'm like, you won't. These are bad Pokemon, even though they're like super sick. I'm just like, I don't trust you. And I don't know why. I don't know why that is, but that was how I felt about Druddigon a lot, and about Rotom Heat a lot. There was a ton of times when I could have used Rotom Heat better than I did. I feel like I used him very well a lot of the time, but there was times where I was like, oh, they can't do anything to Rotom because he's flying. He won't take any ground moves. He won't take Earthquake from this Pokemon. And if you try to Leech Seed him, it won't work because he's a Steel type. Just stuff like that. Like, I just do really safe switch-ins on certain Pokemon that I just didn't do in favor of another Pokemon because I didn't believe in him, And then I'd switch Corsola in and she'd die, or something like that. I was like, okay. But, yeah, there was a lot of times like that where I was just like, oh, this Pokemon has worth, and I haven't been using it at all.
Yeah, and I guess the league is good at, making you aware of that, and making it so that you learn more about just different Pokemon and playstyles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think overall your team was really fun. I'm kind of sad you didn't use Hariyama, because Hariyama is really cool.
Hariyama, I never understood how to use. Or at least I understood how to use, but going back to the thing where I was like, I don't want to play like this, so I just don't, and then I switch off and then I die. It's like the same thing with Hariyama, where I'll just be like, I want to force him to play in a certain way, and that certain way doesn't work, so I won't use him.
It's really good in Trick Room.
Hariyama.
Trick Room Guts Close Combat is where it's at.
Oof. Trick Room Guts, like Z Belly Drum or something. Just like, oof. I want that very bad, but that's never gonna work for me, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of conditions you have to set up. But overall, very fun team, like I said. Lots of shenanigans going on with this team. And I really like that. Like, Whimsicott just being really annoying, which is fun.
Really epic.
Causing mischief. So, before we conclude this video, I just wanted to ask, especially since you're new, and this is your first draft league, what things you took away and what things you learned from this experience?
I realized, that Pokemon's pretty sick. At first, when I joined the league, I just joined because you were like, yeah, sure, you can use Corsola if you join. And then I was like, oh yeah, this will be great. And at first I was just taking it kind of seriously, and then the rest of the league I was like, I'll just have fun and do what I want to do. And that's when I enjoyed it the most, When I was just like, I'll do this thing. And I'll do this thing too. And then most of the time it works. And then when it didn't work, I was like, maybe I'll skip out on that one, or I'll find a way to make it work the next time.
Well, that's good, because, I feel like, I don't know, just having fun is the point. So yeah, that's like what I really tried to do. Like season 1, for example, like I like Trick Room a lot, so I tried it just because it was fun, not because it was particularly good, because it's not really particularly good in singles. But
I tried so hard to make Trick Room work so many times.
But yeah, so it was really awesome having you in the league, and I'm really glad you joined. And I think that's true for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people were really glad you joined. So thank you for joining and for giving Corsola some much needed love. And I look forward to more shenanigans that you pull off with whatever team you construct next. And before we end this team analysis, if you have anything else, any final comments or any final thoughts you want to say before we close out.
I'm really glad that I participated. It was really fun, like, the whole time. I didn't ever have a moment. I mean, like, there was definitely moments where I was like, a little salty gamer, a little bit, but the whole time I was consistently having a lot of fun and like just hanging out with everyone. Even if I didn't like comment a lot, I was always watching and just like seeing everyone else had fun was like really great. So I'm really glad I joined, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad too. And the final thing I'll say before we end this video is that the most important thing is that you ensured that Corsola was drafted frame 1.
Oh, yeah.
First turn in draft, Corsola. That's how you know the league is going to be fire. Alright, well, this was I Like Corsola, headed by Zqiggs, and this concludes the team analysis. Thank you for tuning in, and thanks once again for joining me for this one. Really fun conversation we had. And tune in for some more team analysis videos coming up. We're almost done with the first half of the league, and then we'll jump into the playoff team analysis as well. So stay tuned for that. This is Noel from Sun and Friendly, and I'll see you then.